Okay, so I'm going to work on the first problem, which is to give the slope of the line and the point on the line. So each of these represents a line. Okay, so I'm gonna write it over here so that we'll have more space. All right, so basically what you're gonna do for every single one of these problems is to put it in the slope-intercept form. And the slope-intercept form is this: y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, because when you're in the slope-intercept form, you can just pick out the slope. It's right there. It's m. Okay, and then this right here is the y-intercept. And then we'll talk about that in a second. All right, so this is almost in the slope-intercept form, but not quite. Basically, you just need to move this negative 3x over. Okay, so let's do that. So our new equation will look like this: y equals negative 3x plus 10. Okay, so here we know what our slope is. It's negative 3. So on our paper, we can just write for the slope, we'll just write negative 3. Okay, now for our point, okay, we know that this is our y-intercept, and basically what that means is that when x is 0, what is y? Okay, and I can solve it in my head, or I can just write it all out, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say x is equal to 0. You know what? Let's make this a nice x so you can see. And then I'm just going to plug it into this equation. Okay? So then we have y is equal to negative 3 times, instead of x, we put 0 plus 10. So y is equal to 0 plus 10, which is just 10, right? All right, so then our point is just going to be 0 for our x and then 10 for our y. All right, so that's our answer. So on our paper, we'll just write 0, comma, 10. Okay, now let's do B. Okay, so then for B, oh, you see that? Okay, we have 5y is equal to 35x. Okay, you know what? I shouldn't have did the equals there. Let's do that. That's B. All right, so we want y by itself. So we're going to have to divide 5 on both sides, right? So we can get rid of that 5. And then we have y is equal to, plus 35 divided by 5, 7. Then we have that x. So this is our slope, 7. Slope, or m. So we're going to go over here and we're going to put 7 right there. All right, now we need to get our point. Now here we are in this y is equal to mx plus b. It's just that our b is 0, and that's why you don't see it here, but we can go ahead and write it. Okay, so that means that when x is 0, we can plug in x for 0. 7 times 0 plus 0. What is y? Y is 0. Okay, so our y-intercept is 0, 0. And that's our point. That's one point on the line. Now now these right here, this could be anything. All these points, it does not have to be 0, 0. It could have been another one. I could have picked a different value for x. For example, what if I said that x was 1, right? Let's do that. Let's do that. If x is equal to 1, what is y? Y would be equal to 7 times 1 plus 0, which is like nothing, right? Y is equal to 7. So this is another point. 1, comma 7. Now I could put 1, comma 7 here, okay, or this, or a whole bunch of other points. But I just picked 0, 0 because that was the easiest one for me to find, right? When I make x 0, it's just easy. It's just an easier calculation because I don't have to worry about the 7 at all. Okay, does that make sense? I hope it does. Anyway, regardless, this is an answer. This is a correct answer. And this is also a correct answer. You can put either or. All right, so that is for this problem. Oops, sorry. So that's that. Okay, so this one is a bit harder to see. Not super clear, it's kind of small, but I hope you can see. All right, so for the x-intercept is just where the graph crosses the x-axis, which is about right there. Okay, so our x-intercept looks like it's 2. Let me check. Yep, it's 2. So we'll just write 2 here. The y-intercept is right there, which looks like it's about, it's not quite 3, it's like 3 point something, but because I don't have an equation, I can't really find out. I mean, I don't really, I'm just guessing, you know, it could be like off a little bit. So I'm gonna say 3. And then the slope, now this one is a bit harder to see, but it's not too bad, okay? So basically you're gonna start from one point and your slope is rise over run. So I'm gonna say, so we rise 1, 2, 3, went up 3, and then we went backwards 2, 1, 2. So our slope is gonna be -3. Oops, can you see that? My 3 is kind of, it's going to be -3 over 2. Okay, now if my graph would have been shaped this way, right? If it would have went 1, 2, 3, and then over 2, right? It would look different. It would look more like this, right? Then it would be positive, but since it goes the other way, since you went up and you went over that way, you went over to the negative side, then it's going to be a negative. I mean, we could have said 3 over -2, but that's not mathematically standard, right? Standard fractions, you'll have the negative on the top. So that's why I have -3 over 2, which is the same thing as 3 over -2. All right, so that's the answer for 2. Oh, that's not the finished answer. Okay, so also they want to know the equation in point slope form. All right, so we can do this. This is not bad. Remember point slope form, you just do y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Okay, and they can do that too. So it'll look the same. All right, so here my y1, we can just pick any of these points. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this point. It doesn't really matter. But at the y-intercept, my x was 0 and my y was 3. All right, so I'm just going to use that point. I could also use this point where my x is 2 and my y is 0. Okay, but make sure not to confuse these. You use one point or the other one, not both. All right, so we have y minus y1, which will be 3, equals -3 over 2 times x minus 0. So that is my slope. I mean, that's my equation. Y minus 3 equals -3 over 2 times x minus 0. Okay? Now they want slope-intercept form. And basically, I'm just going to have to solve it so that it looks like y equals mx plus b. So let's just use some scratch paper so that we'll have enough space. So what do we have? Y minus 3 equals -3 over 2 x minus 0. And I can just get rid of the 0, but I'm going to rewrite it. Y minus 3 equals negative 3 over 2 x, right? Okay. So now I'm going to move this 3 over because in the slope-intercept form, we have y is equal to something, right? And we have, yeah. So we have y, sorry, let's add 3, plus 3, plus 3. That goes away. So we have y is equal to negative 3 over 2 x plus 3. And that's our answer. Y is equal to negative 3 over 2 x plus 3. Okay, that's it.